Say you don't support reparations. Why not?
Not everybody suffered equally. I mean, when you go into slavery, it's much more complex than all white people were the oppressors and black people were the victims. If you dissect it, you will find there were about 3,700 free blacks who owned 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is, do the descendants of those free blacks who owned black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really benefited more the first 100 years after slavery than we have in the last 50 years. I was born in 1937 during the Depression. Everyone in my small, low-income black community, 98% of the households had a man and a woman raising children. Elderly people could walk safely in that community without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren. Never heard a gunfire during that time. Never heard of a child being shot to death in the crib. But there are 50 children today who have been shot and killed in our cities. If you talk about remedies, we've got to look beyond saying that every solution has to have a winner and a loser, that blacks can only benefit if whites lose. We have to be defined more than just victims of oppression. When whites were at their worst, blacks were at their best. When we were denied access to hotels, we built our own. We have to communicate to our people the history of how they achieved in the face of oppression. But if we continue to sit back and say all of the challenges that we face in out of wedlock births of violence, that somehow the control of that is in the hands of white America, and therefore until white people change, there's nothing that we can do. This sets up a terrible situation for this nation. The big crisis facing America is not racial. It is the moral and spiritual freefall that is consuming our children. The highest death rate among black families is homicide. Among Silicon Valley, the highest level of suicide, 6 times the national average. In Appalachia, there are prescription drugs. And so if we are to address this crisis that is causing our children to lack a sense of personal responsibility or value for their own life, they will take their own life or take someone else's. So in order to address that, we must come together and look beyond race and realize America is drowning because it's in a moral and spiritual freefall. None of us should be defined by the worst of what we were in the past, but we should be defined by what we want to become in the future, and that people are motivated to change when you give them a vision of victories that are possible, not constantly reminding them of injuries to be avoided.
Hey, YouTubers, what's going on? What is going on? That right there is called common sense. Common sense. That is what you call common sense. Because right now in our culture, mainly in black culture, common sense is missing. For some strange reason, common sense is missing. We now have become a culture of feelings. We are a culture of feelings and not facts or logic. Because first of all, my grandmother was born a year after him. He said he was born in 37. She was born in 38. 38. And she told me the same exact things that he said. You know, when she grew up down south, in South Carolina, in Jim Crow, you know, all the kids were in 2-parent households. All of them. If you didn't have a dad growing up, it's because your father got shot by a white man. He died in World War I, World War II, or Korea. If not, most black kids were in 2-parent households. And mainly today, our black boys. Right now, in black culture, 8 out of 10 babies today are born out of wedlock with no father. I'll say it again. 80% of black children today are born with no father. You see, when a boy is raised with no father in his life, by nature, not all, but most, by nature, he take on his mom's identity. Because by nature, women by nature are what? Emotional. By nature. So when a boy is raised with no father in life, he has the inclinations of women, meaning no ambition, no drive. He whines, complains, no job skills. By nature, he becomes a female himself. Because women by nature have a need to be provided for. By nature, that's how they're built. That's the way they're built. So when a boy is raised with no father in the home, okay, by nature, he becomes a dependent. He becomes a dependent. Men by nature, we build. We think. We accomplish. We conquer. And here's what I know. Because right now, in America, 8 out of 10 people today live paycheck to paycheck, me included. So, if tomorrow, if 30 million blacks get $1 million, okay, if 30 million blacks get $1 million tomorrow, by next week, guess what? You'll be broke. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. If every black person tomorrow gets $1 million, okay, I guarantee it. Most of you, not all, most of you will be broke. Because when a person comes from poverty, okay, by nature, how to put this? He has no discipline when it comes to finance. So naturally, he will spend recklessly. So giving everybody $1 million, okay, would not be a good idea. Because what happens, that makes blacks more lazy. You can't do that. You don't learn that way. You don't grow that way. You don't build that way. You don't. You don't. When you give people things, okay, all their life, it then, in their mind, becomes an entitlement. Because in life, nothing is owed to you. You earn things. That's how it is. That's how it is. But anyway, leave me any comments down below. Press like, click subscribe right over here, and I'll catch you guys later. Stay tuned. Peace.